Arguably, the most commonly mentioned electrical current within our bodies is the heart rhythm. Hearts contain, within them, a grouping of cells known as your sinoatrial node, or SA node. These cells within the SA node, sometimes called the pacemaker of the heart, contain electrolytes both inside and outside of the cells. The most common electrolytes within the body are sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, and chloride. Sodium and calcium generally reside outside of the SA node cells. Potassium generally lies within them. The cell membrane acts as a barrier between these electrolytes. Pressure within the bloodstream allows sodium to enter the cell, causing potassium to leave it. Less potassium leaves the cell than sodium entering it. The result is a continually growing positive charge. When the charge reaches a certain point, calcium channels in the cell membrane open up and allow for calcium to enter. This makes the interior of the cell extremely positive compared to the outside of the cell, known as an action potential. Once that potential reaches a certain point, it has enough power to discharge down the nerves of the heart. This electricity causes the muscles to contract and your heart to beat. Electrolytes crossing cell membranes, creating electrical discharges, is one of the countless ways the body uses the food we eat to create energy and power to do work. This is why the food content we eat is classified in calories, a calorie being a unit of energy. As technology advances, medical science will continue to unravel all the mysteries surrounding how the chemical reactions within our bodies maintain our daily lives and create our own bioelectricity.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it? If thoughts can do that to water, imagine what our thoughts can do to us.
Which is that we are water. Each and every one of us is water. It is our most abundant substance. And yet, we don't notice it. It's so entwined in us, we just forget that it's even there. We look at water in the outside world, we see a glass, we see a river, we see an ocean, we say water. But how often do we look at ourselves in the mirror and say, water? It's strange, right? There's just some chemically pure water. Hopefully the drains are closed. Yes, they're closed. And we're just going to fill these 2 wine glasses with chemically pure water to near the brim. See, you know, that guy doing the pickpocket thing in the beginning was kind of fun. I was like, oh, cool, magic trick. Some might say this is magic, but I assure you it's pure science. So, well, we find that a rope of water leaps up and forms between the 2 glasses. And I still don't know what's wrong with this thing. A couple of things begin to happen, right? We see that when we stretch the bridge, it gets thinner. When we shorten it, it gets thicker. We can see it oscillate. It can vibrate like a guitar string. I'll even show you. Hopefully it won't break, but I can pass this glass rod right through the bridge, so pure magic. When we do chemical analysis, we find that the pH in the 2 glasses is different. So the acidity of the water changes. We find that it emits heat. So when we look with an infrared camera, the bridge is hot. But when we look at the spectrum of the light coming out, we find that there are features that have nothing to do with its temperature. When we take a common laser pointer and shine it into the bridge, rather than producing a straight line like we would expect for a cylindrical lens, the laser beam is scrambled. So something had to be going on at the molecular level. And we really wondered what this was. Now, liquid water is really hard stuff to study. So when we try to figure out what's going on in the bridge, we really have a difficult task. But fortunately, there have been a couple of lucky breaks for us and some really nice clues. And they have led us to understand water like this. So, we are a DJ. We are able to play music. We can change the way the water molecules are moving. We can change the rhythm. If we play no music at all, they still will move around. But if we want to get the system excited, if we want to liven it up, we can turn on some good bass, right? We can get, yeah, let's get the party started, you know? We have a nice build up, build it up, yeah, 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 and then boom! We get everyone excited. Everyone's dancing together, right? Their rhythms start to match. They're all jumping up and down, right? We really get the whole stadium going here, okay? But it turns out that when we look in the water bridge, we see this. So you see these weird distortions, these objects moving along. When we look using very advanced techniques like X-ray and neutron scattering and super fast lasers, we find out that there are protons in there. Now, protons are just positively charged hydrogen ions. And they are a special type of material because they're also the currency of life. They are the power source that each and every one of your cells uses to run its biochemical industry. So, what's going on here? Why are there massive swarms of protons in the bridge? And what's even more puzzling is when we look at the bridge, right, we see that the water is flowing. It actually flows in both directions. And we can measure the speed. We can put particles in there. We can calculate the speed of the water flow. And these protons are moving 10 times faster than we have ever seen protons move in water. I'm sorry, that's not right. 4.5 times faster. And they're moving 10 times faster than the flow that's carrying them. So these protons are not normal protons. These are not your friend trying to get from the bar back up to the front of the stage with the drinks held up over his hand. I'm getting there. No, these protons are crowd surfers. They're in hamster balls and they're running. How does this happen? When we look at the data, what we find is that it is a collective oscillation. That in the water bridge, we, by applying this electric field, excite a huge population of water molecules. And then this special group of protons, this new population of protons, starts running over the top of it. Now you might say, okay, well, what's the meaning behind this? Well, it turns out that the electric fields that are present in our cells are the same strength as those in the bridge. So, what we're seeing in the bridge is actually what's happening inside of our bodies. It seems that as we come closer to understanding the ability to control water and to program water to do tasks for us, we are entering a new era of human technology. An era when we will be able to make our technologies and the technologies of nature merge. A world where we can have peace, a world where we can share life, and a